Hey guys, what's up? It's TechNation Tutorials here, and I'm going to show you guys a PHP tutorial today. I'm going to show you guys how to make a hit count, or this page has been viewed so odd number of times. This isn't a professional grade one. It won't work like the professional ones do. What they do is they document your IP address, and then they know when that IP address comes back, not to update the database. Well, this one actually just updates the database every time the page is refreshed. It still works in theory because the person would come to the page, update the database, and it would count as a view. So here's what it looks like on my website, and I just have it up right here. And it says this page has been viewed 23 times, and it's just in a little white div with a border radius. And we'll go over the code, but you're going to need to know this. This is on my localhost server. I created a database called count, and within that database I created a table called count. And then I created two variables, or it had two variables, one of ID, which is an int, because you won't need to be carrying that much data. And if you haven't seen my videos, my computer does freak out because it only has 2 gigs of RAM. I'm sorry about this. I'm just going to let it load. I will pause you guys until it comes back. Alright, so I'm back, and it stopped, but it's an ID, it's int, and it's just a normal int, and it has auto increment. And then I did count, which was a varchar, and I sent it to 1,000,000 characters, but you could do 250 characters. But once you put over, I think it's like 10,000 characters, it becomes text, and more characters you put in a varchar, it'll actually change to long text. So what you're going to do is after you created this database, within this coding, there's a couple of things you are going to have to change. You're going to have to change this, which is in the connect.php. This script is downloadable. You can all download it in the description. And you're going to need to change that to your MySQL, that to your username, and then that to your password, and then that to your database. Mine is count. Yours may be something different. I don't know. Now, once you have that, and that should be saved, we can move to the style. The style sheet is very basic. I created a div which is called count. I gave it a margin of 0 auto, so it centers inside of the page or the div that you have that you're putting it in. It has a width of 200 pixels and a height of 75 pixels. It has padding from the bottom of 25 pixels, padding left 15 pixels, padding right 15 pixels, padding top 10 pixels, a border radius of 15 pixels, and a background color of white. It might have seemed like a lot, but it's not very bad. It's very simple. And then back into the index, so what we did is we created a link. We labeled it as a style sheet. The type is going to be a text slash CSS coding, and that's just to include the style sheet into this page. Then we created the div, and we actually called upon that ID, which we created here in the style sheet, and then we started our PHP coding. So right here we included the connect.php, which connects to your database, and then immediately we run a MySQL query, which updates count, which is our table name, and it sets count, which is the variable inside the table. So count equals count. So if count equals 0, it would be 0 equals 0 plus 1, which would equal 1. If it equals 2, it would be 2 equals 2 plus 1 is 3, so on and so forth. And that just updates the database. And what we have here is where ID equals 1. So let's say you had this on multiple pages, you would just change the coding here to whatever the ID is. So like if it was on page 7, your ID might be page 7, whatever it is in the database. Then we give a variable, which is another MySQL query, which is query, select all from count. Since our table was count, you need to change that. If your table's different, you change this if your variables are different. Where ID equals 1, so we only want to select it where the ID equals 1. And then cache rows, we're going to select the data from the MySQL or the database. So cache rows equals MySQL fetch a sock or SOS, sorry. And then we run our query, which is MySQL select all from count. Then we grab the information, so count equals rows count from the database. And then we echo that out, which is this page has been viewed. Then we line break, and then we give it a font size 4. We center it, we echo out the count, which is whatever numbers in the database. We close the font, we break another line, we write times, and then center, which then you end up with a product that looks like this. This page has been viewed 23 times. If I were to refresh the page, you would see this page has been viewed 24 times, so on and so forth. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Yes, this is my website, and yes, I will have all these videos coming up soon, so stay tuned for those. And I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next tutorial, hopefully. See you guys later, and have a good night, day, afternoon, wherever you guys are watching.